Hello, everybody. It's Bob Anderson. I didn't even see if my camera was looking at me. Is it looking at me? I guess it is. There it is. Yeah. Hey, everybody. It's Bob Anderson. Tell me if you can hear me. Tell me if you can hear me. Yes. Okay. Yes or no, maybe. You can see in here. Okay, good. Well, I'm done. I'm done. Look at the YM trade I took right back down to the pivot. It kept sitting in here. I was waiting to start the live stream, and this inside candle formed right here after it's kind of just been, this was a smooth pullback and it was just fighting its way down. This inside candle formed, and I said, damn it. I mean, I only had to risk to the top of this candle for my stop loss. So I took it. Bam, there. There's my, I got to block my account number. Sorry. Hold on here. I have to block my account number. There's my full $100 right there. $300 and some dollars after commissions. $388.48. So there's my $400. So, anyways, look at that, right? And look at that. Look at right back down to the pivot. That's what I talk about so many times. I say, it's a matter of, do you have room for the trade, which means from the entry to your next known resistance spot, which is obviously this pivot. Is there enough room there to justify the risk of that trade? And as you can see, that was obviously the rotation point back up. There it is. So that was nice. That was a nice $400. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to, happy Friday. It's happy for me. I got $400. It's happy for me. I got $400. Anyways, what was I going to say? One of the things that I want, the reason I keep looking over to my right is because that's my chat's there. Let me see if I can put the chat over here where I can see it better. I know I can. Let me see if I can figure out how to do it. There it is. Okay, I got the chat now in front of me, so I don't have to keep looking over there. One of the things I want to do today is pay less attention to the chat and more attention to the charts, so I can start identifying some things, hopefully for you guys also. The other thing is, some of you got to understand that, and I'm no genius on using what is this called? Using YouTube as a viewer, but you've got to go into your play speed and speed it up so that it like somebody says they put it at 125. Somebody said that in the chat yesterday, and when they do that, they're only about 15 seconds behind me, which 15 seconds is definitely enough time. If you're 15 seconds behind me, then you will then see what it is I'm identifying, because these are all 1 minute candles. Okay, so go into, so on the bottom of your screen, there should be a little wheel, down on the right side next to the closed caption part. Click on that wheel, go into playback speed, open that up. It should be at normal now. Open it up and turn it to 125. And what that'll do is that'll keep the camera sped up to where I'm at as much as possible. The only delay then is just this screen, this video going to YouTube and then YouTube disseminating it. That's it. It changes it back to normal. Why would it do that? Oh, when it catches up? I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, it did that, didn't it? Huh. It did do that. You're right. It did it to mine. Once it catches up. One of the things you can also do is keep, because like if there's a commercial in there, it'll stop you from catching up. Yeah, if there's a commercial in there too, because YouTube puts commercials and stuff randomly. If there's a commercial in there, when that commercial's over, you need to go check your live and drag your marker over so that you're up as current as it is. I mean, it's because somebody sent me a video yesterday and you could see they were like 2 or 3 minutes behind me, and I'm like, I don't see anybody else 2 or 3. But if you're 2 or 3 minutes behind me, you can't see what I'm talking about when I'm saying here's a possible setup. Because by the time you hear me saying that, it's 2 or 3 candles later. This is something that I will ultimately fix by Discord or something. But when I do all that, it's going to be when after I know that I can do this without being truly painful to me financially trading, because it is a lot to juggle with me trying to do this and then me also trying to talk and then me looking at the charts, and I'm not in my mental rhythm like I did right here with a nice beautiful trade. I mean, I hadn't even been in. I was able to see that inside candle. I knew we had a smooth pullback. That price was going that way, and I'm only risking this, bam, bam. I mean, I was clear in my thought to do that. Yeah, once caught up, it goes to 1.0. But I think it's when you get a commercial that it slows it back down. So you just got to, after a commercial, you got to move it back over, to catch yourself up. So anyways, let me mute you guys for just a second so I can take this call. Hold on here. Sorry about that. It was my son, so I thought I thought he might have something to tell me important, but it wasn't. Anyways, oh, that's good on the ES. Yeah, that is good on the ES. Very good. Did you ride it up? How far did you take it, David? Because your entry should have been about 701. That's up to 711. Holy cow, that turned out to be a 10-pointer. Holy cow, that turned out to be a 10-pointer. RTY just did a short off the current open, off the overnight open. I'm kind of glancing at. Let me quit looking at the chat now. 5 points is great. Let me quit looking at the chat and start looking at the charts, because I'm missing like this. That was actually a nice setup. That was actually a dynamic, beautiful setup. I don't know if anybody took that RTY trade, but that was a nice setup right there. Yep, that was a nice setup. I don't know if it's going to get hung up, but you can protect yourself. The reason I say I don't know if it's going to get hung up is because this one is going to get hung up. The YM is going to get hung up. And just for informational purposes, the NQ, for those of you that may be looking at it, it keeps hitting the prior day high. that is something that's been continuing to happen because it's banging itself off of its prior day months high. I mean, it just keeps hitting it. It did it yesterday multiple times. It's doing it today. So let me just keep looking here. Yeah, RTY is in the same position. Exactly. RTY is in the exact same position. I have an RTY. I have a buddy that's an RTY trader, and he called me yesterday afternoon going over all this information he's got on the RTY, blah, blah, blah. And that was one of the things he talked about. All he trades is the RTY. That's it. Man, what's going on, Gold? Why did you just go to freaking dead mode? I mean, I was about ready to get excited about gold, and then it just shut down. This turned out to be a nice trade here. Man, I'm sorry, guys. I missed that. I just totally missed it. I was too busy getting the chat started and trying to explain to people, that how to speed up their stuff. Okay, I am going to. YM seems to have gone to sleep here for whatever reason. Let me look at this again. We got something going on here with gold. See, we came over the prior day open, which usually is a dynamic line sometimes in gold, and it's just run right up. So I would love to see it slam down and test it and then go long. So that's something I'm looking at over here on gold. Kind of like I'd like to see the YM do similar. I'd like to see it come back and hit on top of both these lines for a rotation long. I would love to see that. Oh yeah. Okay. We all right. All right. Just pay attention to the YM here. Oh wait. Yeah, the YM. My strategy says RTY, but that's because it's a $5 instrument. I have it both with the same settings, which is 40 tick target, 2 contracts. I know this says RTY strategy, but I literally trade them exactly the same to get me in the trade. I want 2 contracts because it's a $5 instrument. Man, come on, gold. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. Look at that RTY trade, man. That was just beautiful. That sucker's going to go all the way back to the low. Man, that is beautiful. I can tell you right now, my buddy's jumping up and down because I can tell you he took that trade. He's going to call me this afternoon. Did you get that overnight open rejection in the RTY? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Now, put a perspective on that. What is this? 88, and this is 79. So that's 9. That move right there. And this is what I talk about, trying to get bigger targets, bigger move, this kind of stuff where you've got, I know I'm telling Noah about the flood right now, but that's not the point. When you've got a situation from your entry to your target, that your hopeful target is here, that's a $900 move. That's a $900 move. I mean, you don't have to get yourself caught in the weeds. You just need to stay focused on the big picture of what's going on. Beautiful, beautiful situation right here. I mean, I'd be crapping my pants and have my stop here, but, obviously hoping it would get down here if I was in it. But even if you get knocked out here, man, it's $600 right now, sitting right there, but it's rolling down. So that's if it goes down here, that's $900. Beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. God, I could have hit my $1,000 goal for the day if I was paying attention to that instead of looking at the damn chat. Jesus. Look at that. NQ just rejected that prior day high too. Man. See the NQ knocked itself through the prior day high, and now I don't have the sheningas to take that when those candles are that big. just to be perfectly honest, I don't have the nerve to take that in the NQ. I don't have the nerve to take that in the NQ when the candles are that big. I mean, I just don't. It takes a lot of nerve to do that. Now look at the RTY still melting down. Man, that was just beautiful. God, that setup was wonderful. If you just learn that, look at the multiple candles in a row. Boom, 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 boom. Right up. And this one here was nice enough. Here's the other thing too that was really cool. This candle here was nice enough to make sure you didn't just pierce the overnight open, but you pierced the prior day close. The frustrating part is when it pierces the overnight open, breaks, and what it really was trying to do was to go here and clean that spot out, then roll. That's when you can get stressed out. So this candle right here cleared out both for you, then rolled. Man, that was truly a beautiful setup. Truly a beautiful setup. Jesus. Absolutely gorgeous setup. I'm still sitting here staring at gold because that situation I talked about is starting to formulate, which is that nice big space, 1, 2, 3 candles in a row. We can just kind of keep going back down onto the prior day open. Ching, we could hopefully catch along. I don't know that it'll go to there, but we can hopefully catch along in a few $100s. So I am still looking at that. This thing still, again, the RTY, I say it goes in straight lines. This is what straight lines mean. See. So if you follow the back of the candles with your stop, it just kept going in its direction until it finally broke it right here. So here's where you'd be if you followed the back of the candles. Here's where you would have been out. So 81 from 88, so about $700. Now what I'm hoping for right now, since we're way down here in La La Land now, and I don't think there's anything below me to look for. Nope. And I haven't created a new low for any kind of 1 minute gold line. So this instrument is completely out of the picture for me right now. So I'm going to pull this over and look at it, gold, because if I can continue this pattern down to here, then I'm going to be looking for a rotation at least back to here. which would be a nice one, because if we get down in here and our entries say 93, this is 97. So that's at least $400 if we can get that rotation. Yep, it's at least $400 if we can get that rotation. Now let's do a little praying that we get like an inside bar and, you know, something that makes it real easy to make the decision to take the trade. Because like right now, that candle's way too big for me. That candle right there at the open is way too, at the prior day open is way too big. But I'm more than willing to let it kind of dip its way down and then do an inside candle or something like that, or a candle that's not far over the open for the entry, because I can protect the open with my stop. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of hoping this candle sits here. It doesn't look like it's going to. It looks like it's going to run, but I don't know. Yep, it's running. Come on. Come on. Stop. 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 Huh. The YM just did a retest right here. That's rather interesting. Damn gold. Shit. It's already going to break. Yeah, it's broken. Let's see if it comes down and cleans out. I would like this to roll down. Roll down some more. What's going on? All right. I'm going to stop this because everything froze on me there for a second. I do not want to be in a trade if my system crashes. I would be taking a long here if it rolls back up through this break of this candle now. While this candle's still forming. Came back down, tested the open. If it comes back and rejects this candle, I would be in it. Now I wouldn't. Now I wouldn't. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Now, first off, I didn't want to take it because the candle's too big. I mean, 87, 91, 7. What is that? 87, 98, 7, 91, 92. That's $300 I'm risking to make $400. That doesn't make much sense to me. I want to be extremely conservative. If you go back to the trade I took before I turned the video on, this is as conservative as you can get right there, folks. I mean, come on. You cannot get any more, because I only had to defend this candle, and it was an inside bar of a 1 minute gold line going down. I mean, and you see that once I got in, bam, 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 bam. It's just recognizing that place where things are going to turn your way. Boy, the RTY is breaking through the lows. Wow. Breaking through the lows. Looks like we might be having some troubles with the YM today, because if we're going to hang out at the overnight open, which is where it's sitting right now, and it's rotated across it 1, 2, 3, about to be 4 times in the last 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes. I mean, that's a bad sign. No, I'm not in sim. I'm trading live. No, I'm not in sim. I'm trading live. I was in sim while I was concerned about how to do this, do a live stream and trade at the same time. So I simmed the first few days. And once I got a little comfortable, it's like, okay, it's time to go. It's time because I got to make some money. I got my account. I'm not going to hit my goal this week, unfortunately. Not going to hit my goal this week. I would have if I took that damn RTY trade instead of screwing off. That was it right there, man. That was a beautiful trade. Of course, the question is, would I have had the nerve to hold it all the way? Probably not. But even, I certainly wouldn't have held it past this inside candle being broken to the long side. I certainly would not have held it past that. Absolutely not. Man, everything has gone to sleep. Now, again, the interesting, other than the RTY, everything's asleep. Now, even the NQ has gone to sleep. The interesting thing about that is I made this comment, I think it was yesterday. I said, I've noticed that, like, you got your market chaos that's been happening, from 9:30 to about, like, say 9:50 or so. And then the market's been kind of going quiet from like 9:50 to, say like 10:30. And then all of a sudden it kind of wakes up again and starts doing stuff. So anyways, hopefully we don't go straight into the Friday doldrums. GC is still holding its overnight, the prior day open. It's still holding it, which is nice. And there it goes. Yep, it held it. It did hold it. It did hold it. What we can possibly hope for is that it gets a little energy in it, and it goes up, breaks through the current high, comes back and hits a 1-minute gold line for a long back towards here. That's kind of what my mindset is right now. So if we could get this to run up, go through the high, start getting some volume and all that stuff, and then come back and do a 1-minute gold line back to, off of that towards the high. That would be kind of what I'm looking for on that right now. Yeah, I know. Options expiration day, triple witching Friday. Yeah, and two things, Chris. Recovery Wick pointed that out. Yeah, you can get into the dormant mode of Fridays, and also it is expiration day for options, and that can get a little whipsawish. I think Matt up there in New York State, he refuses. I don't think he trades on triple witching Fridays for that exact reason. Matt is the one who made the labeled lines on the chart, but I don't think he trades on triple witching Friday. God, I am so sorry I missed this trade. I am so sorry I missed this trade. God dang it. It's just such a so in my favorite instrument to do it in, RTY, and I just completely missed it. My favorite instrument. Because, again, it moves in straight lines. Once you're in it, it has a tendency to keep on going in the direction you want. Has a tendency to go in the direction you want. And you just follow the back of the candles to your target. man, I totally, it's like everything else. I'll get used to it. I'll get used to doing the stream and doing the trading. It's just going to take me time to juggle it all mentally. But the thing is, this is what I really want to point out on this, that I talk about over and over and over and over and over again, is that if you're able to be patient enough for that, I mean, everything on this is just, I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you this. If this had happened from the top, where we went through the high and came, I wouldn't have missed it. I just wouldn't have missed it. Because I talk about this over and over again. I'm so much, I can see the charts real easy on the long side. I struggle on the short side. I would not have missed that on the long side, but more important, I just would not have happened. But what I will tell you is, the really wonderful thing about, say, knowing that this gap is what they're trying to fill when they do something like this, is that the sheer size of that allows you to get into that trade, follow it down, boom, 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 say make $700. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if I can sit here and, stay patient, sit on my hands and identify situations like that, 2 times a week, hey, you know what I mean? Just like the one I saw last Thursday off the 5-minute red line in gold. I mean, that thing was over $1,000. It just went fing, ving, just exactly as I sat here and talked about it. It's like if you just stay very patient and don't just take trades, but take trades that are punching you in the face, that, holy crap, here's what we're doing. Similar to the one I took this morning. I mean, it's punching me in the face. It's a 1-minute gold line after a crossover in Donchian Channel, all that stuff. But I had an inside bar, and I'm like, I've got to take it. I've got to take it. I'd punch myself in the face if I didn't. And boom, 400 right back to, and I had plenty of room because I went from here to here, right back to the quote unquote pivot, just like I was talking about with the RTY, and it was $400. Boom, boom. It's just sitting there and being patient and waiting for that push and that pullback, for the rotation back to where it got pushed in the first place. That rotation puts $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 in your pocket, off of, say, a $100 to $200, risk. You don't have to, you don't have to jump in and out of the market all day long. I'll give you a perfect example. Let's just look at this YM right here. I mean, all the signs, well, now it's going to do it before, as if I wasn't going to say this, but this YM right here is showing you it's going to go long. Okay. It's showing you it's going to go long. How is it showing you it's going to go long? Well, it sat back on the prior day open, or the overnight open and the prior day close, and it came up and broke this pivot here and then rotated back down. And so it's showing you it's going to go long. But do I want to take that trade and get caught up in all this freaking noise, even though I know it's going to go long, because I don't really know where it's going to go when it goes long? So these are trades I stay away from. Okay. Even though I have an inkling that this is exactly what it's going to do, it's going to go long, I stay away from them now because it doesn't punch me in the face like this trade here, or like this trade here. That's punching me in the face. You have to take this, Bob. Are you crazy? That's what I'm talking about. Ninja won't do that. What you probably did is when you closed out, you didn't answer yes to saving your stuff. Ninja wouldn't delete it. Ninja doesn't delete your trade saver. Just you may not have saved your stuff when you closed out. I always save my stuff instead of just closing it out. And like I said, here you go. Here's your YM. It is going long. I mean, it told you that when it gave you the finger through the top and then sat back on the gold line. It told you it was going to go long, but I don't need to be in all that damn noise and all that stress. Now I'm looking at the NQ. The problem is that rotation to the red line is not smooth. I mean, it's just not. Let me pull it down. I mean, this rotation here, we went on a vacation here. We went on a hiking trip. So, I mean, I'm not sold on it. Is it going to go up? It might. But I mean, when I trade the NQ, now the MNQ might be worth throwing some things in there. But if I'm going to trade the NQ, that thing has to be screaming, Bob, here's where we're going. Take it. Let's go. Let's go for the train. It's not going to be a situation where we meandered here on our way here, because we created down pivots. See the down pivots that we created? We went from this pivot to this pivot. And in the process, we broke this pivot back down. So the rotation is showing us that we're probably going short. Is it going to happen? I don't know. It may go up, but I don't want to be compromised. The good thing is it is above this pivot. The MNQ may have been worth trying it. It did have a nice hammer candle. I will say that. That was a nice candle that went through and then back up. I do like that. Look at that. Of course the NQ is going to work. Well, it looks like it's going to work. Yeah, it's probably going to work. Look at that. You dirty dog. Now, just forget the time. Forget the time of day. I didn't even look at the time of day because I didn't. But like this scenario from here to here, which is that 9:30? Yeah, from here to here. Didn't meander there. It's hard to get from a high. It's hard to get a smooth pullback, relatively smooth pullback on a red line trade. It is hard because there's usually a lot of stuff in the way as it's going there that's fighting it. But when it does do it without meandering, then you know exactly what the algos are doing. And when the algos are dictating the game versus just the traders, that's when you know, oh, we're not just going up, we're going here. Geez, gold, are you going to make up your damn mind? Well, gold may actually start doing what I said before. This is interesting. It may actually do what I was saying before. I said I want it to go up, but we have broken this pivot here. We have a reset. See the reset right here. We did break this pivot. I would not mind if it rolled back here. Not necessarily the high, and came nice smooth pullback into the 1 minute gold line, and we took that long. And if it will go through the high, you're looking at like real money. Well, it's going to run through the high for us. Now, again, I would be highly focused because of this reset and this crossover. I'd be highly focused on a 1 minute gold line right now for gold. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Ryan. I totally get you. That hammer candle, the last candle, the last red one on the NQ, that would have probably interested me a lot more for sure. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. Gold would have just rotated, picked here and then back here and then boom, that would have been really nice. I don't want it to go here and then hold on. Obviously, everything crashed. Give me a second here. Where am I? Oh, wait, here it is. All right, hold on here. Everything crashed. Unbelievable. I mean, everything crashed. Everything crashed. All right, give me a second here. Huh. Hold on here. Where am I? Okay. Hold on here. Everybody hold on. I'm here. Do you guys hear me again? Let me get in here. Where am I? Jesus. Where am I? All right. I'm just trying to figure out okay, here it is. Jesus. I lost the chat and everything. I lost everything. All right. Jesus. Now let me get my. The shitty part is whenever something like that happens with this strategy that I have from Trade Saber, I lose all my markers. So like I can't, like my trade that I took and made money on, I can't even show it anymore because my markers are gone. I lose my markers. All right, hold on here. I'm going to go back to looking at gold because it's starting to do some of the things I was talking about earlier. And yeah, it's starting to do what I was talking about earlier. All right, come on, gold. I think everything's good. Jesus. Just that's what I'm talking about. Things which I've had that happen yesterday that happened to me twice before I even went live. Everything just crashed. Makes me nervous to take a trade. Well, I do have over on my other screen here my live account on my other computer that I can shut myself out of anything if I have to. Just in case I'm in a trade and all of a sudden, I lose my charts. I do have the ability to get out. Right, wrong, good, bad, or the ugly. I tell you what, I logged into my live account because of that situation. I probably should have logged into to a sim account. Damn it. 97, 98, 97.5, 98.5. That's got $100 there on that trade. Man, I'm sorry. That's just, charts crash. I get all stressed out, man. Yeah, I get all stressed out. Jesus. Oh, gold. Do me a favor. Run down to the PriorDay open right now from the high. Oh, that would be wonderful. It would be. That would be truly wonderful if you would do that, because that would give my gap from here to here make my gap much higher. Come on, gold. Wonderful. Please do that. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. Okay. Hey. Oh, come on, gold. What are you doing? Oh, no. Come on, gold. Go down. Well, it just might run to the top from here. I got Sweaty Betty on it because of this. Right here. Right here. That right there. We rotated down below this rotation here. Are you going to run up? It might. Yeah, there it goes. I would expect that to go through that top. If you're in it, I would expect it to go through it. I would expect that one to go through it. I think we're heading. I think it's heading up in this area. If it goes, I was hoping it would do a bigger pullback than that. For a rotation from here. If you're in it, be careful. Yeah, I talked about that earlier today, Recovery Wick. I got a buddy that only trades the RTY, and he spent, I walked my dogs yesterday afternoon, and he spent probably an hour on the phone explaining that to me. Exactly what you just said. He only trades the RTY. You talking about gold there, Grand Slam? Because the answer to that question would be yes. The answer to your question would be yes. I mean, I'd have my stop right here at even now, and I would play that thing to run through that top. I would play that gold trade to run through that top if I was in it. I wouldn't be taking my money right here. I wouldn't be taking my money right here because it didn't have far to travel to get there is the reason. If it has a long ways to travel to get to that pivot, then that's where people are going to take profits. But if it didn't have far to travel to get there, it should run through it. Come on, gold. Keep going. There you go. No, that's all right. Recovery, Wick. That's all right. No, it's an excellent observation. Unfortunately, the RTY is showing that those tops are difficult to actually get through. I mean, it went through it, but it's got slammed right back down, and now it's south of it. I think gold is going to meander now. I do, in a positive way. I do. If I was in this trade, I'd be looking for something big. If I was in gold, I'd be looking for something bigger. Let that 9 EMA be your friend. Shoot, what's going over here in the equities? Everything's just rolling over. The equities are rolling over. Interesting. Now talking about that NQ here, whoever brought the NQ up. So see how now this trade definitely made you some money. So I'm not disagreeing with that. But see how this pivot ended up being the pivot that then pushed it down and then it's pushed down again. That all in regardless of this line, in my opinion, this rotation happened instead of up here because this was established in that pullback from here to here. And it's just playing out. And the problem with that, so just let me point this out. When you get this reaction up, that's cool. The problem is, it's like, how do I manage where I'm going? Because you don't know where the next one of these is going to happen. Is it? But I mean, on the NQ, for example, 69 and 69 and 25. It's 94. I mean, you got 94. That's $500. It did get 94. So that's a $500 trade. That's why I would have been more interested in that in the MNQ than the NQ, though, because I don't know where the next rotation for the steps is going to happen, because we started stepping down instead of up. That's what I was trying to point out. Because of this, it's when it does that. It's when it does this rotation where it doesn't create these push down pivots and you go from here to here, that you get more of a commitment from the 5-minute buyers, the 5-minute traders, the 5-minute 21 SMA traders, to run it back up and through here to continue the pivots to the long side. Does that make sense? But there was definitely a reaction there, and there was definitely some money made. There's no doubt about it. There was a reaction there. And it was a nice, if you go back, there was a nice sequence of candles that got you there. And then you had that hammer candle. So perfectly honest with you, setup wise, it was pretty good. Yeah, downtrend has been established. So now you got to, unfortunately, anticipate a downtrend to continue happening until it's proven otherwise. Until it's proven otherwise. I'm telling you right now, the trade of the day is, if we can just get this SOB to roll back to here, this will be the trade of the day. Well, RTY was the trade of the day. I mean, let's just be honest. That already happened, so let's not talk about things we can't do. The next trade of the day will be this. The next trade of the day will be this. And the reality of it is this, if it rotates to here, back to here, will probably result in more profit than that RTY trade did anyways. And see, Ryan, to go back with your thing, that's part of the reason why, I mean, just, for conversational purposes, that's part of the reason why I have, I didn't get a piercing of the current day open in gold for me to take a short. I mean, not gold, ES. Like on the pull up, I needed that to go up another tick. I mean, it touched the target, it touched the overnight open, but that's it. I like it to go through. Back to this. That's why I have this quote unquote indicator on here, is to help you visually recognize the pivots. Now they don't recognize all the pivot rotations and whatnot, but it identifies significant ones. And that's the other reason why, again, I have the Donchian Channel on there, again, to help recognize that we've gone into a new area recently. Doesn't mean that it's the be all to end all, especially the Donchian Channel, because you can get a pivot broken to your left, but you haven't broken the Donchian Channel, but it's a significant pivot to your left and a pullback, and then the rotation back out the other side should be anticipated, even though you didn't get a Donchian Channel. Perfect example is right here. You had this pivot created. This came up and pierced it. You came down, boom, there it is. So, and I took a trade just like this yesterday in the NQ, and it ran up for $600. Just like that, where if I was only looking for the Donchian Channel, I would have missed it. Does that make sense? That's the problem. I mean, the Donchian Channel is there just to help, kind of like the pivots are there to help it, but it doesn't mean it's all the pivots or all the rotations. But again, it's to help you visually when you're trying to recognize things without you having to look too hard. So let's just look at this ES. What I was talking about is it rotated down. I totally agree, but I didn't get a piercing here before the break. It had a nice inside bar too. I mean, a lot of that is pretty nice. I wouldn't like the fact that it didn't break that. But I mean, no, Chris, seriously, it touched the overnight open. It did. It price touched the overnight open after creating that space. And then the cool part was you had an inside bar to the right of that candle. I mean, if you've got a position that the market is leaning and you can get fortunate enough to get an inside bar to a major candle to your left, man, I'm telling you what, you can make a living just focusing on that. If you've got a position that the market's leaning and you get fortunate enough to get an inside bar to your candle to the left, as it's like I said, say touching that open, I mean, you can make a living off that. You really can. Yeah, the NQ is rolling down. RTY is just collapsing. It's just they do not want to go to highs in that RTY apparently. And we are so far from the prior day low. I mean, I just don't know that the RTY is going to be showing us anything the rest of the day. I don't know that the RTY is going to be showing us anything. It has yet to even hit the red line to the downside. And it's still rolling over. So it's, yeah. Whew. Come on, gold. I had all these high hopes for you. So I'm trying to avoid what I anticipate is this style of reaction versus, if we get deep back in here and then a rotation, sequence of candles in a direction, then we can expect a reaction the other way. I was thinking that exact same thing, Grand Slam. I was thinking that exact same thing on an MNQ. It would have been worth the trade. It would have been worth the risk for sure. I got mine set on the NQ. I should have probably changed it over. Ooh, that reminds me. What is my strategy set to? Because I have my NQ at 3 contracts. Oh yeah, shit, I can't be doing that. I would have a heart attack if I put 3 NQ contracts on here. Yeah, I got to go in and fix my strategy. Hold on here. I would literally have a heart attack. You guys would watch me fall over. There, NQ. Duh. If I'm in the NQ, I want it set for the NQ. Jesus. That just dawned on me that my strategy, because I normally sit here and trade the NQ, but yesterday I hit it I hit an NQ trade. Absolutely beautiful. But I did it with 1 contract because I did it manually. Yeah, 3 NQ contracts. I'd have a freaking heart attack. I would have a literal heart attack. I mean, a literal heart attack. Look at the YM doing just what I talked about, just hanging out at the overnight open. We might as well toss this aside. Let's toss that aside and bring something in here that might actually set something up. Now, for some reason, we got a couple big candles here. Big equity candles. Something, again, what time was that? 10:52 or something? Something looks like it happened. Popped a lot of stops for sure, but it did it in all three equity markets at the same time. Well, see, the problem, it's not scheduled news, but you never know if somebody said something, you know. Warren Buffett could have said, I'm thinking of taking my $50 billion cash and rolling it back in the market, and all of a sudden, bam, everything takes off. By the way, what he's not telling you is he put that $50 billion in before he went and told the news that. I'll be right back. What the heck? Wow. I know somebody was speaking, I thought at like 2:00. Is there somebody speaking at 11? Some government puppet was speaking at 2:30. Yeah, 2:30. Some government puppet. Hopefully coming on to keep pitching the transitory speech. I love that one. That was my favorite lie of the last 5 years from the Federal Reserve. Don't worry about inflation. It's transitory. Yeah. Then go ahead and bet me on it. Yeah, at 2:00, 2:30. Yeah. When I see a random spike like that, I don't know. So here's a teaching moment. When I see a random spike like that doesn't seem to have any premise or flow, like candles in a sequence or anything, and you just get that random spike that all the markets are doing it. It's not like you just hit a bunch of stops here in the RTY. So I'm talking where it's like something doesn't make sense. I have a tendency to just sit and wait for the patterns to reset because there's an abnormality in the situation. But this ES is looking pretty promising right here to the long side, to be honest with you. But yeah, man, I tell you what, that's 2 days in a row. If you remember yesterday, we had a random spike yesterday out of the blue that hit me for a stop, hit my stop loss in a trade that I had to fight and get my money back in the NQ after. I think I was in an R2I trade, and we just got a random spike that all 3 equity markets or 4 equity markets at the same time just went ping with a time that made no sense. Again, it's a reason you cannot trade negative. You just cannot trade negative. You've got to trade with stops on your chart. You cannot trade negative. That's just, I've seen people do it. And I'm like, well, good luck. I mean, is there not, I've seen people do it. And I say to myself, is there not a point where you think a loss would be too great? I mean, I'm not telling you have to put your stop as tight as I do, but is there not a point where you think the loss is too great? Is there not a point? Versus, Ninja closing your account, because that's how it works in the real world. Ninja will just close your account and keep all your money. That is crazy. I mean, because what you can't see on your chart is regardless if you got a stop or not, Ninja's got one for you. You can't see it, but it's there. But it's there in case you lose money. Now, interestingly enough, for those of you that have ever set up like an account, like say with Ninja, you can set a stop loss on your P&L daily. I'm up $400. Tech reviews. I'm up $400. I lost the markers because my system crashed, but everybody saw it. I took a short in the YM for 40 ticks with 2 contracts. And then I missed, a beautiful exact same trade basically in the RTY. That would have been about another 700. I just completely missed it. Trying to get my live going and stuff. But yeah, I'm up $400. I showed the P&L right here. $388.48. 1 trade, 2 contracts. I started my stuff over again, guys. See that? I started my stuff over again. I like that. I like doing that. It helps me stay disciplined, is to keep resetting myself at two grand or whatever. I think I reset myself at $2,100 or something. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll show you the trade. It was right here. Where was it? It's the markers are not there anymore because my system crashed. But where was it? It was right here. It was right here. I was getting ready to start the live. We had this smooth pullback here to the 1 minute goal line after a crossover. And this candle spiked down and then came up. And I hadn't entered yet. And I was sitting here getting ready to start the live because this was at 9:43. And I saw this candle, inside candle, and I said, shit. And so I put a short here, boom, boom, straight to 40 ticks, which was right here. And then he rotated up. Right back to the pivot, to the downside, and then boom, done. Yeah, take money out of the account. I started this account with $5 grand from most people know this story, but I started this account with $5 grand that I got from a payout from Apex and that kind of stuff. But then what I did is I traded it up to, I don't know, 7, 8 grand, whatever. But I started thinking to myself, man, why you got all that money in there? You're only trading 1 or 2 contracts, 2 contracts being on like RTY and YM, for example, $5 instruments. And I'm trading 1 contract in, GC and NQ, for example. So when I went to take a withdrawal, I just withdrew myself down to $2 grand. And then I ran that $2 grand up to $7,500 like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. Anyways, and I took that money out. Now I'm back. I'm resetting myself back to $2 grand. So I'm up at, what does this say? I'm up at, oh shit, I got to get my account out of there. Jesus. I'm up at 25, 22. And I'll probably run that back up to 5 and then take my money out again. Yeah, I know. I don't want to have to think about it. I run it up to a number. So like last, I let it run too long last time. I let it go to 7,500. I mean, in my mind, I let it go too long, but I'll probably let it go to say 5 or 6 and then take it out again. But it was at like 7,600, I think, the last time I took my withdrawal out. So I took like 5,600 or 50. I think I took 5,500 out. Started off at 2,100, somewhere around there, 2,110 or something. Yesterday I broke even. Today I made $400. And I didn't trade Monday or Tuesday because I was trying to learn how to do this. So I didn't do any live trading. I just sim traded live. Now I told everybody that I was sim trading. And now I'm live yesterday and today. Yesterday I had to work my way out of a loss because I got smacked in the head a couple times. Man, something do something. Hey, Kenny. Hey, Shane. But remember, tech review, remember my objective, which is, I think has been totally freaking hugely important to my trading. So my objective was $1,000 a week when I went live. Something where I didn't have to stress out because I do have, I build houses. These are two houses I'm specking out right now. I build houses. So I never know when I'm going to be busy doing that, whatever. But my point is that I didn't want to put stress on myself. So I said, well, hell, if I just made $1,000 a week, I'll be fine. And that made it so I was more selective on my trades. I didn't feel like I had to take a trade. And so if you think about what I did today, I hit 40% of my objective in one day out of 5. That's, makes my life easy. If I just stay patiently and hit something like that, boom, Yeah, exactly. 1,000 a week, and then, when I get comfortable and whatever, I could possibly scale up my contracts and maybe change that to something else. But right now I'm fine with that. It's just stay profitable every week. I have not had a non-profitable week in a long, long time. So even today's $400, even though I was sim trading Monday, Tuesday, I did not trade at all on Wednesday because of FOMC day. Break even yesterday, $400 today. Hey, I had, once again, it's a profitable week. Another thing that takes a lot of stress off me is I'm not trading prop firm anymore. Because when I make $400, I actually make $400. But as I'm going to tell everybody sitting here listening to me, you got to remember until you can control yourself and whatnot and learn patterns and become consistent yourself, the prop firm is the place to be. Because if you blow, a $50,000 account, which is like a $2,500 loss, it's really $30. It's not $2,500. Whereas if I do that right now, it's $2,500. It's that $2,500, which is real $2,500. It's not Apex's fake sim money. Man, Gold, I really wanted you to run down and slam the top of that PriorDay open, and you just didn't do it. Yeah, that is true, Ryan. Now, I will tell you this, you're correct, Ryan, except one of the cool things with Apex is they let me set my S Corp up that I used to build my houses as my receiver of my monies. So I was able, so when I got a payout from Apex, it went to my S Corp, and my S Corp got the 1099, not me individually. So, things, tax wise here in the US, that does help me out, but still not as good as, getting the, I think it's a 1099R or whatever the heck it is from Ninja. I can't remember what it's called. That is still better. Yes. I don't think you missed anything, David. You may have missed my system crashing and I had to reboot everything. You might have missed that. I personally am still, oh man, maybe we can get there. I'm still waiting for this. I'm still waiting for the big rotation down in gold that has some leg to it that we can spin back towards the highs or toward the current high. I'm still waiting for that rotation. Jeffrey, I'm not questioning you, so don't take it that way. But where are you getting the data? Because I mean, I still have to buy my data. And if you've already got the platform, that's another thing too. Like if you've already, like in my case, I already own Ninja, so that's I think that's $1,000 outlay or some shit like that, unless you lease it. I already own Ninja, so that helps. But I still have to pay for the data, regardless if I'm not using a prop firm. But I agree with you in terms of the sim trading. But you got to create your own rules and create your own discipline, for trading. You can't do, and I mean, I know I'm telling Noah about the flood, but you can't like say, ooh, whatever, I'm going to take 3 contracts on this and then say, ooh, I had a $6,000 day. Let's just say on an NQ rotation or something, when in real life, you're not going to, in real life, you may not trade that way. That's the problem with actual sim trading that's not in a prop firm, in my opinion. Is you still gotta act like it's real, in my opinion, to develop. Again, these are all in my opinion. And by the way, whenever I give my opinion on things like that, it's from real life. It's from real life experience. These are all from real life experience, my friends. These are I've got all the scars. And I tell you what, I've never been more comfortable with my trading than I am now. Now, when I lose money on a trade, I don't even blink. I don't. Yesterday, I got hit twice in a row. I just sat there and, put my focus on, looked at anything moving. It was the NQ. I saw a rotation that broke the pivot, saw the pullback, boom, boom, gone. Took my money and got my money back. And then I just said, okay, I'm done for the day. I'm just going to call it a break-even day. And then I proceeded to just talk on the stream. What are we doing? We are just not doing anything. Gold, why are you meandering like this? I'm telling you, sometime gold is going to do a rotation. I just don't know when. And when it does that rotation, either to the red line or to the open, that's where you need to focus heavily for the rebound. I got you, Jeffrey. Yeah. Oh man, I mean, I'll tell the story on here. I'll tell the story on here, but I got burned by Apex once, and I don't remember the dynamics of it, other than I paid for an account. I don't remember all the details, but I paid for an account, and then I passed the account, or the accounts. I think it was 3 accounts. I was copy trading, I think, anyways, long story short, I get done, and then I go for my PA, or it was PAs that passed to get funded. I can't remember, but what I remember is I go to get paid, or I go to turn them into PAs. I can't remember. And I'm getting no response. Like, nobody's saying anything to me. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Well, long story short, for whatever reason, unbeknownst to me, when the accounts were set up or something on their end, they had set them up on accounts that had already been issued to me. So let's just say, you know how they have that account like, 52. Okay. And then the next one's 53, 54. Well, when they set the accounts up, they set up, it reset as 52, 53, 54 again. And yeah, I'm looking at it, but it's got to move a little more, Chris. I mean, it's just can't be meandering. So it set them up 52, 53, 54. And I don't know that. I mean, how do I know? All I know is I got these accounts, and the balances are at 50,000, and I'm running them up to 53, right? That's all I know. So then I go ask to get paid. Well, they took my money, but they wouldn't give me, they wouldn't do whatever. And I went on YouTube for this channel right here, and I did a video blasting the situation. And fast forward about 24 hours later, Daryl Martin called me directly on my cell phone and asked me, Bob, explain to me what happened. And I told him, I said, I bought these 3 accounts. I don't know that they're accounts that were already dead. How do I know that? That's the accounts you guys reset to 53,000. And then I traded them and I passed. Anyways, he ended up fixing the situation. But if I wasn't me, it wasn't going to get fixed. And I'm not saying I'm more important than anybody on this channel. You know that. But what I'm saying is, because this platform, I got my situation fixed. It wasn't long after that I no longer bought an account with them. What I did is I just told myself, Bob, you're ready. Why are you dicking around with this? You're ready to trade live. So why are you putting yourself through this aggravation? And so it was not long after that I took a $5,000 payout, switched it over to Ninja, and then just here I am, and it's been great ever since, because I don't have any rules. I'm not forced to trade. Now, granted, some of their rules have changed for the better. You got to remember, when I first started at Apex, man, to even get a payout, if you had a PA account, I'm pretty sure of this, but you had to trade for 20 days to even get a payout. You had to trade for 20 days to even get a payout. And you know why that is? It's because the more you go in the market, kind of like me talking about waiting for the proper setups, the more you go in the market, the more likely you are to lose your money. That's good. If now I'm going to tell you this, tech reviews, which is all good information. If you become consistent enough to do that, why don't you take one of those payouts and do what I'm doing, man? And I'm not calling you out. That's not what I mean. That's literally not what I mean. So please don't take it that way. What I'm saying is, what's your hesitation in doing that? And I'm asking as for points of interest that maybe you can help some other people in this group. I'm just asking. I'm not calling you out. Trust me. It's not what I mean. Not calling you out at all. I'm just asking, because I finally just decided I'm done with rules and stuff. And And so if I make $400, I make $400. It's my $400. Like I did today. I made $400. It's my $400. All right, now gold is sitting at the prior day high. What I would really like. Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, because to me, the reason I ask is because to me, that should be what everybody aspires to. Once they start getting consistent with some payouts from these prop firms, don't get married to the prop firms any further. Use it as your escape route to, to trading live where you, where you can not feel any pressures or anything. Just the whole thing comes down to you and your discipline. That's good. I'm excited for you. That's good. I got caught up in just the apex and I could have been caught up in the tops. That doesn't matter. I just kind of got caught up so much into a routine of using the prop firms and stuff that I had to have a bad experience to kind of force myself to get out. And the other thing is the prop firms would not, in prop firms, I would not be looking for these bigger trades because of trailing stops and stuff. And really, longevity of me being a successful trader, in my opinion, is to be able to recognize the bigger trades, take them, and get to the point, like the $700 RTY trade today. I mean, if my goal is $1,000, boom, that sucker went for $700. You see what I'm saying? And therefore, I don't. Again, going back to the less times I'm in the market, the less opportunity I have to lose my money. I don't want to get in the market just to be in the market. Gotcha. Text review. Perfect. Exactly. Perfect. Jim, who pops in here once in a while, who I can't even talk about how much money he makes trading nowadays, but Jim, who pops in here once in a while, or has a couple times the past week, he did the same thing. He made money in the prop firms, all that kind of stuff, and then just switched himself out into cash accounts probably about 8 months ago or so. And I'm telling you, he's yeah. FOMC day, he sent me his charts. He made $3,300 on FOMC day, not trading the FOMC announcement, but trading at like 10:30 or so. And then I think it was either Monday or Tuesday, he sent me his charts and he made, I think, $4,500. I mean, so he had a $7,000 week in 2 days. But it's all live money. I mean, doing exactly these things we're talking about here. His two favorite instruments are gold and the NQ. Gold and the NQ. He says the RTY just doesn't do it for him. I'm like, okay. Mine is the RTY, gold, and then the NQ. Used to be oil, but oil just doesn't have that volatility anymore, which is beneficial when I go to the gas station. But yeah. As he says, it's gold and them their hills. He loves gold. He learned that, but he learned gold from me. He didn't learn NQ from me. But he learned, his trading style is mine. but I never pushed him to do NQ. But I did push him to do gold. As a matter of fact, the $100 he made, I think on Tuesday or whatever, was all in gold. But the 3,300 he made on FOMC day was in the NQ. I mean, he just kills it. But I mean, you know, he trades 2 contracts traditionally. I have a freaking heart attack if I have 2 NQ chart contracts on my chart. All right, so if I was looking at a potential trade right now, if this hammer candle comes back up, I'd be looking at a long here in gold. That's me. I'd be looking at a long here in gold. That's me. I'd be looking at a long here in gold. Even though this candle's way down, I'd still be looking at a long here in gold. Now, we may get lucky. If this slams down to the 5-minute red line, that would be nice. So I want something that has push and pull, so we have room for money. For example, that's not push and pull. There's just back to here. There's just, you could scalp stuff like this, but there's really no money to be made. You can scalp stuff like that and make you feel good about yourself, but I find profitability wise, if I go back and look at my profit days versus my less profit days, my more profitable days are the days that I actually traded less times. That's because I usually find my less profitable days are days that just stuff isn't working and I'm trying to work my way out of it. Jesus. Come on, gold. This could be good. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for gold to do something. I mean, there's just nothing going on with everything. I'm going to have to go to the little boy's room. I'll be back. I got to go to the little boy's room. Too much coffee this morning. Look at that. Look at gold. Look at gold. Come on, gold. Oh, man. Now, this could get good. Yeah, red line. Red line for gold. If it plows through the red line, obviously the prior day open. Notice we never tested it. We never tested the prior day open. You know, that's one of those things where, like, you know, so many times if they blow through something, they're going to come back and test it. And they have not tested the open. Of course, they also haven't tested the red line since they blew through it either. See that? We have not tested either one of them. Ouch. Okay. It's all right. Gold is still good. That little there is not that big a deal. Here we go. Oh yeah. Yeah, the NQ. Well, you had two inside bars to the one on the far left on the NQ. There you go. Yeah, you had two inside bars to the candle on the left. A perfect place for a reaction back. Absolutely. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. Come on. Do something. Wow. I was kind of hyper focused on gold today mentally because it is triple witching options day. So I was thinking, okay, well, gold's going to be less influenced and all that. But it just hasn't produced anything. Sure does have the volatility to make money, that's for damn sure. But it's just not producing any. It's not producing any trades right now. Just killing us. Just killing us. It's starting to get dangerous where it's sitting now. Man, I tell you, this leg to here just absolutely be stupendous if it did that same leg to here now. Right to here. Boom. It's somewhat. It's more influenced by the fact that loose money policy that corresponds with interest rates. Because everybody knows the government's never going to be responsible. It's just going to keep printing money. Well, when it keeps printing money, hello, gold keeps going up. And people get that false wealth effect. They think they're better off because their 401k says they have more money in it until they go to buy a car that used to cost 60 grand. Now it costs 90, like a Ford F-150 pickup truck. And then you realize maybe my 401k really isn't doing that well. No, it's not. But you know, what choice you have? Unfortunately, you don't have one. Come on, gold. Somebody move. Oh, let me speed this up. Now I'm lagging again. That's exactly right. People need to understand that Mike Fisher. When you have a government that, by the way, that's my RTY trader calling me right now. I guarantee you he's calling me to tell me he hit that $700 trade. I guarantee you he's calling me to tell me that. Guarantee he's calling me to tell me that. Yeah. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, government's in debt. And the only way debt is palatable if you're a debtor is to devalue the currency used to pay the debt, because the debt is in a dollar amount. It's in, I owe you $10. So if I paid you $10 today because I borrowed $10 from you yesterday, then it's $10. But if 6 months from now that $10 is really worth $5 of my labor because it's devalued 50%, it's a lot easier for me to pay you that $10 back. That's why the government is motivated to devalue the currency. It's totally motivated because it's so far in debt. I mean, the government's paying $1 trillion in interest. I always loved the people that used to say to me, in the 80s and 90s, Bob, it's the government. They just got debt. It's no big deal. What is that? What do you care about? I care about exactly the situation we're in right now, which is, what could this country do with $1 trillion if it didn't have to pay $1 trillion in interest? What could this country do with $1 trillion? Huh. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. The gold is just stuck now. Well, it is insane. Well, that's true too, because we don't. Yeah, yeah. No, you're true. You're correct, Brandon. You're correct. You are 100% correct. Could and would. They'd trust me. No matter which direction we went, they'd still figure out how to enrich themselves. They'd still figure out how to enrich themselves. Debt or no debt, they'd still figure out how to enrich themselves. Yeah, but great ones have failed for exactly this, i.e., the Roman Empire. If you go back and study the history of the Roman Empire, you'll notice huge amounts of similarities with the social structure then, the military then, the government then. The similarities between the Roman Empire before the collapse in the United States are limitless similarities. Limitless similarities, just limitless. And I tell people that's because the one thing that never changes, regardless if it's 400 years ago or today, is human nature. The parallels are beyond striking. I mean, just beyond, I mean, literally. And I don't want to get into political stuff, but Jesus, my God, the parallels are amazing right now. Just amazing. Ungodly amazing. And that's the documented parallels. Keep in mind, history is not always transferred in 100% reality. You know, sometimes it gets watered down based on who's writing it. Now, if anybody's sitting out there potentially looking for a trade, if this gold, now that it's pierced this, comes over and then we get a little bit of sit on this 9 EMA, I'd be looking for a break back to the high. Come back down, because see how we broke this pivot here. So what it's going to come, I'd want it to come down and test. This is a microcosm, but this thing, if it would come back a little, there you go, come back a little more. Come back a little more and come on, come back here a little more. Come back here a little more, you dog. Come back here. Come back here. Oh, come on. That is a possibility. Except we've already been there twice to our left. That NQ. Come back here. Pull back. Come on. Give me one nice pullback here in gold. If we can get one decent pullback here in gold, I'm telling you it's going to rotate back this way. It's going to be slow and boring, but that's what it's going to do. That's the exact scenario I hit the NQ in yesterday for $300. This exact scenario. NQ just did it right here. See, it's broken its big pivot too. That's the problem with this rotation back, because there was a big pivot to the downside that's been broken to the upside going into that red line. Are we getting that big pullback yet? This might be it. This might be the big pullback in gold I keep asking for. I'd like a big pullback that doesn't break this pivot right here. This one right here. You don't want it to break this one right here. And then a rotate up. Well, hold on. Now it's a tick up. No, it's going to roll over. Yep. Didn't happen. Or at least doesn't look like it. Did we equate it? Why is it so difficult to see stuff here? Oh, okay. We never did break that pivot here. Oh, okay. Hold on here. Get an inside candle here with that wick right there staying there, then your long would be right here. The real trade on that NQ, in my opinion, is a crossover retest of the red line to the long side. It's a continuation of the direction that the market's been, which is long in the NQ. Oh, gold, good. Keep rolling. Come on, roll over. Come on, gold. Just fall off a cliff now. Do everybody a favor. Fall off. Just fall. Just fall. Just fall. You got it. There you go. It never pierced back to the long side. Now it's fallen. So hopefully it just starts falling. Come on. Man, that NQ went to sleep. Yeah, I know. Gold's the only hope, I'm telling you right now. Gold is the only hope. It's the only thing that I think is going to pick up, possibly get some leg and start moving. It's got to get out of there. It's got to get out of here. It's got to go somewhere. Start doing something. I'm with you, Ryan. I'd prefer it to go all the way down to the prior day open, to be honest with you. But it doesn't look like it's going to do shit. It doesn't look like it's going to do shit. All right, all right, all right. Come on, gold. Are you going to break that pivot right here? All right, you did. You did. Okay. All right. It may give us a second chance at this whole situation. Now come back down. Don't run away. Come back down. Let me get rid of this. Come back down. Come back down. There you go. Come back down. Come back down to here. Come back down to here. Where are we at here? 04, 7. I mean, you look at maybe $300. Come on. I know what you, come on. Come on. Now come on. Come on down here. Come on down here. Come on down here. Boy, the ES sure had it. It sure looks like it might have done a 5-minute red line. Now, the ES might have a 5-minute red line here. Of course, I don't like the prior day close and prior day open being right above it. I mean, come on, man. All right. All right. All right, gold. Don't run off yet. Don't run off yet. Pull back. Come on, gold. Consolidate right here. Yeah, I'm getting ready to shut down. I'm just going to see if I can pay attention to gold possibly rotating back to the prior day high. This pattern is signs that it wants to do that. Man, look at the ES just slamming its way up. All right. All right, sit there. Sit there. Sit there. Just sit there. Just like that. Sit there. It's 7045. Gold. Should rotate back up this way if it breaks this candle right here. It's a microcosm of what's going on. If nope, just nothing there. All right, well, too deep for me to worry about it anymore. And so, as you'll see, like I said, that red line, this pivot got rotated, and then it just walked its way through. This major pivot that did this push down got broken on its way up and just didn't give the rotation back like you would want. And then, of course, we've already been here twice. So I like it. I like it when it crosses over and does that first time situation, regardless of how far down the field it is when it happens. So anyways, all right, well, I am going to shut down for the day, and I'm going to I intend to try to do this at 9:45 on Monday, and I'm going to be trading for the week, or well, as much as I can, hopefully all week, with my live account, with my intent of doing my $1,000. All right. So everybody have a good weekend. And, as I've said many times, stay on the right side of the market. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.